Oh, diggity. I know, I look like hell. Whatever. It is what it is. What better time to talk about hell than when you're in hell and look like it? So, yeah, I want to talk about the real cause of autoimmune issues. I've already done those shows talking about the medical blah blah blah, and I'm sure you can go research it too if you don't want to go listen to my old free shows. I'm not going to get into that here. I'm going to talk about real firsthand personal experience, things that I have been blessed to learn on my walk. Long walk. And it's really interesting to think back because when I was a young girl, I wanted to end all disease. I thought I was going to do that by becoming a doctor, buying AMA encyclopedias at 15, 16 years old and everything, which I still have those books, by the way, just came out of storage, and many more. The traditional route didn't work for me due to life circumstances, and of course, in retrospect, thankfully. However, who knew that for me to learn how to heal, I would have to experience them myself. I have multiple diagnoses. I don't put any stock into them, as I've discussed before. The United States, I think it's UK and Australia are the only countries that even diagnose autoimmune diseases and drug for them. The other countries, recognize it as a parasitic brain infection. So we can get into that later. And I'm not talking like environmental toxins either, as you look back into any religions and shamans of all people. Mind viruses, sure, they can be caused biologically, but really what creates that is, well, here, let me go a step. First of all, let me tell you my story this week, and then I'll get into that. So this is the worst week I've had in a long time, physically. And if I was a normal person, or if I was, say, who I was 15 years ago, I would be blaming physical health and running to doctors and trying to end the pain. Well, of course, I still want to end the pain because it sucks, but I know that that's not the end of it. So I had a mini stroke this week. I didn't black out. My head did what it did. I had extreme vision problems. I literally dropped what I was doing to mop and everything and just went outside and got some fresh air. I was dealing with, some of the typical I've had strokes before. I don't know if you have. So, I recognize the symptoms. And of course, I wasn't really sure. I'm like, wow, am I not drinking enough water? Or, what's going on? But I knew that based on experience again, that it was energetic, emotional, trauma-based. There has been an issue at work with a certain person who, is no longer there now, but pretty extremely abusive. And we had a meeting 7 months ago. He was on good behavior for a minute, then was a jerk again, then got talked to, then was a good, but then whatever. Belligerent, abusive, drunk type thing, and I'm the cause of all his problems. But it got to the point where I knew that it was adversely affecting my health and that I'm going to have to practice what I preach, and as much as I love the job and the people that I work for, I can't change anyone else. I'm going to have to make a decision to protect my health. So I don't want to be that person who can't talk or walk again, all right? And I know, go watch my #1 detox video. It's not physical at all. So this week was a really, really, really good example. Anyways, the next day, the issue came to a head and literally blew up. And he said his garbage again, so I just decided I'm going to stand up. Hey, why don't you ever say that in front of the boss? So, does his needling, pick. I'm like, seriously, if what you have to say is so great, why don't you say that in front of the boss? Picking again, so I decided, all right, in my mind, this has to come to a head now, whether I get myself fired, whether I walk out the door, or, those are pretty much the only options, because the manager already talked to him. It didn't change, it got worse. So, again, he wasn't going to change, so I was prepared to do what I had to do to protect myself. It came to a head. The next day I couldn't walk. I'm talking acute MS attack. And again, we're just using that label because that's what doctors want to call it. I think I might have skipped over some of my other autoimmune alleged diagnoses: MS, fibro, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, again, whatever. Anyways, so I don't buy into that anymore now that I know. And I have seen a direct correlation between emotional trauma, abuse, and basically hanging out with fucked up people and these physical disabilities. So if I didn't know what I knew now, I'd be like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. I better go to the doctor and take this, that, whatever. And then you end up on my pills. And many of you know when I did go to doctors and take pills, I got sicker and sicker and sicker, eventually in a wheelchair with my children feeding and clothing me. Okay, ain't going that route again. All right, I know Mother Nature is smarter than man, and the pain can be our teacher, right? But I did say as much to my boss, that I just need to protect my health. Fortunately, the trash took itself out, whatever. However, I am still physically paying for it. This is, again, 100% proof positive of the correlation between trauma. My trauma, my PTSD was triggered with that freaking bullying and things I'm not even going to say here. But, there was a reason that they had to talk to him, okay? So I did everything I could to circumvent the pain and make it through work. It was probably the busiest weekend of the year. Long shifts. I physically couldn't handle it. Every single thing in me ached. I made it the first 3 hours crying the whole time. Then I finally just, look, I'm not going to make it like this. My only hope is maybe go home, over-medicate, and then just see what happens. So I tried. Didn't work. I did last another 4 hours. Ended up running out the door, falling on the grass pretty much. It got to the point where I was literally crawling. I'm still at the point where even getting up out of bed to go to the bathroom freaking sucks. So I don't want to drink any more water or anything because I just want to stay right here and heal. But, okay, so my point is, I guarantee, I've talked about this before, autoimmune issues, and this is based on my own personal experience. And anyone else who has listened to my experience and implemented in their life, all of a sudden cured or miraculously healed from their issues. This is not a coincidence. This is not witchcraft. This is not snake oil. This is not anything. I'm not selling you a thing. I'm trying to help free people from the suffering that I endured due to lack of knowledge. Now I have that knowledge. I can see things clearly. We all watched it at work. Drama, Ministroke, the blow up, can't walk. And here I am 3 days later and just hoping that I'm all right by the time my Monday comes. If you are in a toxic environment, a vampiric environment, and most of the time, and I see this all the time, and I'm just going to call it, whatever, shoot the messenger, get mad all you want. But I even addressed this in a video over a year ago about why certain people heal and others don't. And then another one a couple years ago, what was it called? Can we heal without a safety net? Or with a safety net. Yeah, with a safety net. So I used to think, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to heal without a safety net. I never had that safety net. I watched everyone around me with that safety net who never healed. Why? What's going on in that dynamics? Is somebody maybe enabling? Is somebody maybe shutting down and trying to use the disease as an excuse rather than learn to stand up for yourself, love yourself, and say no? Look, you do not have to be a black magician to curse people. Like, I have another video called The Tongue is Mightier Than the Sword. I mean, they don't call it spelling for nothing. Even when you get mad at somebody in traffic for something stupid, you're cursing some unknown person. And then add some ridiculous bitter jealousies and things like that in the mix. And you're cursing this person or hoping this person does terrible or whatever. You're literally sending energetic darts. So mean girls and all those stupid people in the workplace or school or your family environment or whatever you're dealing with, including your caretakers, the ones who pretend to care about you. Do they really care about you? Because if they did, they would be empowering you. Not saying, oh, here, take this little pill and just stay in pain the rest of your life. For those of you that have been following my channel, look, you've seen it from when I was healthy to in a wheelchair, to healing from that, to healing other people, to having my brain blow up again. Not talking and walking, to healing myself again, working on my feet, physically demanding. Why aren't you taking my advice? Like, I'm not like saying, hey, pay me $19.99 a month. Like, this is it. Like, the key really is self-love and getting out of toxic environments. And really, let's make it real simple. The true name of autoimmune disease should be, I hang out with too many dickheads, okay? And I'm too much of a fucking wimp to stand up for myself and say no. And I feel completely powerless, so I have to stay in this limiting environment because who else will take care of me? Yeah, I know he's a vampire. Yeah, I know she's controlling me. Yeah, but oh, poor me. Don't get mad. Okay, I get it. That was me. And it's not your fault. And I'm not saying it to pick on you. I'm saying it to motivate you to look clearly at what's really going on. Okay, so many of us acquire these diseases when we're doing too much and we don't want to do anymore, but we want to do a lot, but we can't do everything and we're just afraid to be honest and say, look, I have too much on my plate. That's when our fibro kicks in. That's when our MS kicks in. That's, lupus rashes, shit like that. Let me tell you something. Like, and again, it's all documented in the videos, so whatever. My body, I'm actually thankful for my so-called autoimmune disease, which really is just a reaction that highly sensitive people experience when they're surrounded by vampires. And even when we're still stuck in our hopeful mentality, right? And hoping, oh no, not trusting our intuition or just hoping for the best, playing nice, this and that, or not even knowing that we're amongst vampires. My body will tell me with these pains and with the rashes that show up for no reason, no reason. Yeah. Just to warn me, pay attention. Who do you need to watch your back against? Or who, you know what I mean? And the rashes and things will show up in different places to tell me, whether it's my neck or my arm or my feet which will signify different things in my life. I'm not getting into that in this video. What I really want you to understand here is if you're suffering like a flare-up, it's not your fault. You're not doing something wrong, and the drugs aren't going to heal it. What's going to heal it is empowering yourself, standing up, saying no, and getting the hell away from that toxic environment. Thank God, in my case, this time, I didn't have to run. You've seen me run, right? How many times, all right? I have no problem with that. I would love my job. I do love my job. I would miss the people very, very much. I would miss my role there. However, my health is more important because when I can't walk, guess what? I can't keep a job anyways. So, duh. Right? Those of you sitting in bed, taking your painkillers, think, this is all I can do. And no, there's more. You can do more. So you need to check your situation accurately and pull the wool out from over your eyes and look around. Who around you is limiting you or sending you bad juju or controlling you or whatever? And, maybe you are so traumatized, you're so used to it that you don't even know you're being abused. Yeah, I get it. We all grow up that way and we don't really know until later, right? So that's when we choose, okay, are we going to take our health into our hands or are we going to play, this victim forever? Well, do it. That's fine. I still love you. That's cool. But if you say you want to heal, I'm giving you the key. This going from running circles around everyone, doing everything, to getting right back to where I was before and after I was in the hospital and unable to work or do anything in an instant because of that trauma trigger, right? That's the key to healing. What is your trauma? What are your triggers? What are you allowing that you shouldn't be allowing? Where can you protect yourself by standing up and saying no? That is how you're going to heal your autoimmune dis-ease. We've discussed this. What are you not at ease with? That's what it boils down to, okay? Getting to the root. Go to my videos of weeding your metaphorical garden. You have to get to the root and snap it out, pull it out, no matter how scary or terrible it is. Even if it means you have to live in your car in a forest. Even if it means you have to build your own hay bale tent dome shelter in the frickin' mountains. If you really want health, if you really want healing and all these things you talk about on Facebook, you're going to have to make decisions to help yourself. All right, I think that's end of rant. Bye. Have a good day.